I was talking to someone the other day who thought maybe they might have ADHD and they weren't sure about it. And I was like, oh, I have ADHD. And I kind of talked about it a little bit, but it kind of got me thinking about my own diagnosis and how a common thing I see on the internet is, or among my friends who have a diagnosis, is that the diagnosis helped them feel better about themselves because it kind of explained why their executive function's bad, why they struggled with certain things, but probably like the most common concept that people talk about is, oh, like I felt I'm not lazy anymore. I have this thing that makes other things difficult and whatever. And it kind of got me to thinking it's a little bit sad that I've never had that myself. Um, and I think I'm surrounded by either it's social media and the whole you're getting the highlights reel thing, which does probably play a role, but I'm also surrounded by people who have ADHD, so I'm getting like the full spectrum of people, and it kind of makes me feel like, oh, I'm lazy and I have ADHD because so many people I know have like all these achievements that I just haven't got or I haven't managed. Or they'll have like one day where they're like super productive, or they get all their chores done, or they've got this job or that job, or I don't know, and then a hobby that they've got a hyper fixation on that's led to a skill developing, which I don't have really. And it kind of made me think about how, as well, I don't know if laziness, obviously there's like loads of debates about that word and what it means because often people aren't lazy in the typical sense of the meaning. They're lazy because, you know, they've got a chronic illness, they're dealing with something like ADHD, or they might have other things going on in the environment like no money, they work too hard in one area so they can't go to the gym at 5 a.m., whatever. And it got me to thinking about how this is interacting with my chronic illness, is that I don't know when I'm supposed to be pushing myself to do things to the extent that I can. Obviously, that's not always possible. So I was thinking about it this morning when I was going to walk the dog. I was so tired and I couldn't get myself to do it. And obviously I had to because of the dog, but I was putting it off for like an hour and a half, whatever. And how do I know when that's gonna make me feel better, when I should push? Because when I got home, I felt even worse, even more tired, and it's really hard to differentiate between kind of what is laziness for its own sake. Again, just using that word like really loosely, but what is, what is something I should be really putting a lot of mental effort into overcoming, and what is not? Um, because I don't know, what's gonna drain my energy, what's worth it, what's not. Like, I often wake up in the morning and I think of all the tasks I have to do, and my heart like sinks because I just don't want to do any of them. And obviously, that's mostly to do with work stuff, but sometimes it's nice stuff that I just don't want to do as well. Like, going out and seeing friends, I normally want to do that activity, but I don't want to have to take the dog out beforehand. I don't want to have to shower and get dressed in something that isn't joggers. I don't want to have to walk there, whatever. And there's a lot of stuff like that. How do you know what's good for you, what's bad for you, what you're putting off? Because you're being What are you putting off because of executive dysfunction? What are you putting off because of you really don't want to do it truly? What are you putting off because you don't want to do it now, but you'll thank yourself for doing it later, or will enjoy it, depending on if it's like an admin task or like going out with friends task.
Mm.
And I find that really difficult to differentiate in terms of discussions of like ADHD, chronic illness, laziness, and all those kind of things. Because I do kind of feel that I am lazy, but I don't know if that, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think some people enjoy chilling more than others. Um, I don't know. Anyway, I have no point to this, but I just find it kind of interesting to think about. And now I am going to bed because I've been at work all day and it was draining. And that is something I would like not to have to do all day, but that is the way the world is at the moment. Another kind of rambly one with no point, but that's what you get what you pay for, which is nothing. Okay, goodbye.